Hi everybody, hello, it's Meg. I am back this week with the new tarot reading. I am also live on my Instagram. So again, this is going to be a little bit of a weird filming setup, but trying to knock two birds out with one stone here. So yeah, tuck in, let's hang out, let's hang out. So I have another reading for you, which is going to kind of be a little bit differently done from what I typically do, because normally I will go in without any sort of, there's an intention to read for you guys, obviously, but I don't typically have a message in mind that I want to channel through, but tonight, at least for this one, I do have something I want to talk to you guys about in specific, and I will get to that in a minute. But if you are watching from my YouTube and you would like to see more from me, I've included links to my social media and my website down in the description. If you guys want to get in touch with me outside of YouTube, you can. For those of you on my Instagram, I think you know where the follow buttons are. So thank you for your consideration in that regard. Back to my YouTube channel, if you guys want to see more videos from me, specifically tarot, you guys can, there's the like, subscribe, and bell buttons. So if you want to stay in the loop for those, please consider hitting those buttons. So thank you in advance. So last night, as I was falling asleep, I kind of got myself into that weird middle ground where I'm not really asleep, but I'm not really awake either. And I kept hearing the name Jackson Pollock in my head, and I couldn't, I had an idea of who this man was, but I didn't really have a good idea. So this morning I looked it up, and it turns out that Jackson Pollock is a painter, but he's known for a very specific abstract style. And so that made me feel kind of weirdly validated, because a lot of my artwork is abstract, maybe not in the way that his was, but a lot of my artwork is abstract. So what I took from that is that I'm in good creative company. So I would like to channel the ideas of creativity, and how do we tap into that? What do we need to know? What do we want to know about that? So yeah, let's use that as our base for this reading. I'm going to start with the Cosmic Tarot by Norbert Loesche. There it is for my live, there it is for YouTube. Hello, friends. So, as per usual, we're going to get cards from the middle portion of the deck. We're going to get our hidden and clarifying energies, and then we will move on to a new deck. So, one more shuffle. The first card we have coming out is the Eight of Swords. Here, there is something that is holding us back. I feel, especially if we're looking to pursue something creative, our thoughts can be really, our thoughts can be overwhelming in the sense that we want to do the thing, we want to make the thing happen, we want to make this masterpiece come out of what we're trying to do. However, it is not, our brain can hold us back, and I get there, because these characters, these individuals in the piece are kind of looking around and seeing that there's a barrier in their way. There are two characters here. There's a barrier in the way here. What I don't think they're seeing is that they're not bound. They're not tied up. you know, this character back here is not seeing that they have gaps in between these swords they can go through. Okay? So what I'm taking this to mean is that we might be thinking about our creative pursuits in a certain way. And it might, you know, maybe we're overthinking it. And that's not necessarily that isn't necessarily good. But, you know, yes, having a path forward, but that path can get muddy if we overthink it too much. So I feel like the Eight of Swords is signifying there's something you really want to do, but you're overthinking it. So what else do we need to know? What else do we need to know? We have the Eight of Swords to start. Okay. We also have the King of Cups. So there's some emotions in, you know, you might, yes, emotions. Let's go with that. You might be feeling a certain way about this creative pursuit. You might not be, sure how to progress forward, but you are taking these thoughts and trying to get them in a way that you understand them. But I feel like saying with that understanding comes the ability to feel those things and not be as overwhelmed by those feelings, okay? You're also potentially in a place where you can share those feelings without necessarily having to hold back. Holding back isn't serving you at all. And I want you to notice, and maybe this is hard for you to see on my Instagram, but there is a little crab. Give me a sec. Yeah, that's a crab right there. I'm gonna hold this up as far as I can get it. So I wonder if you're not personally dealing with someone who identifies as a Cancer, wherever that placement may end up being. There could also be some air signs coming into play with the Eight of Swords. And I'm getting there because swords are associated with the element of air. That's your thoughts. So there's a lot of emotion, there's a lot of air. I also feel like saying there's a lot of movement, again, because the Eight of Swords associated with air. There's some movement that you want to make that you're feeling held back on making, and it's probably making you feel some kind of way, but it's not, for you, maybe it's not as unmanageable as it's looking to someone who's outside of your situation. Wonder if that makes sense. Let's see what else we have. Here's our King of Cups. Get it up close for the camera on my live feed. King of Cups. Okay. So we also have the Two of Wands. So we have, in all of this creative movement, wanting to progress forward, we have some choices to make. And we're at the threshold. We're on the threshold of a big decision. Do we stay in our comfort zone? Do we leave? Do we let our thoughts overwhelm us? Do we let ourselves try not to feel anything? Okay. We have this energy to consider here. And if we want to move forward, we can't necessarily stay in our comfort zones, can we? Because, it's comforting. It's a little bubble that we have around ourselves, but do we have room to expand in that bubble? I don't know. We have some choices to make. Okay. So, Two of Wands. Let's Two of Wands. Let me get the hidden and clarifying energy for us to see where we can go from the Two of Wands energy. And then what I'm thinking of doing, I have a couple of other decks here that we can kind of clarify the energy on. So let's see your hidden and clarifying energy first. So, all right. Oops. Okay, one more shuffle. Okay, so our hidden energy is the Seven of Cups. So we have again, going back to making some choices here, we have a lot of options at our disposal right now, but we have to be careful, okay, because all the pretty shiny things that are being offered to us might not be what we need right now, especially if we're looking to make forward progress. It's not, you know, yes, that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow might be appealing. And believe me, I would agree with you. If I saw it, I'd be like, ooh, gotta get my hands on that. But maybe holding back on that, yeah, maybe holding back on taking your share of that gold. Ow, sorry about that. Yeah, maybe holding back on taking your share of that gold is going to reap, yes, it's going to reap a different outcome, but that outcome might be better than the one you're being offered right then and there. So you do have options, especially where your creative pursuits and your choices in that regard are concerned. But I do think using discernment and weighing your options is going to be the best option you can take right now. Okay? So there is the Seven of Cups. Okay? And so the Seven of Cups was our hidden energy. Our clarifying energy is the Five of Wands. So there may be some conflicts or some fighting, and I say fighting in terms of, yeah, in terms of maybe a person to person. I don't want to say conflict. There may be some external conflicts that you're dealing with to do with this situation, or there could be some inner conflict that you're feeling. And going back to, I like that I say it that way because we're going back to the Eight of Wands. That internal conflict might be what you're thinking rather than what's happening around you in the physical space. This might be hard to see for you on Instagram here, but I want you to notice something about the outfits that these two individuals are wearing. This character here they're both wearing red clothing of some kind. Here we're having this character in red pants. Here we have this character in a red shirt. Interesting take I just came to here is that, so in color symbolism, red tends to mean passion, feeling something very strongly, maybe, you know, being a little bit cliche here, that there's something to do with the fire element. So this character might be passionate about moving forward, but this character might be passionate about trying to lead with the heart, trying to figure out how best to channel that emotion. But this guy just wants to get going, let's go. I gotta go, okay? And that might be where this creative conflict is coming in, okay? So yeah, there's some conflict, whether it's external or internal. You're dealing with it based on this King of Cups. I think you are dealing with it. You have some choices and options to make, okay? But I do think, oops, sorry about the glare. I do think it's possible to keep moving forward, so long as you figure out what is really driving you and how you're feeling. Okay. So there is the Five of Wands, Okay, so let's move into getting some clarifying energy, why we're seeing what we're seeing in this first part of the spread. I do want to use the StarSpinner Tarot. This is by Trungles. I need to apologize before I get into this because I actually misnamed one of the other decks that we're going to use, so we'll get to that in a minute. This is the actual StarSpinner Tarot. We have the Wandering Star Tarot that we're going to use last of all to get some possible outcomes and how we can help the situation come to fruition. So, yeah, here we go. I'm going to take the hidden and clarifying energies, so the bottom and top card, just kind of to expedite the rest of this reading. So, one more shuffle and then we'll get into it. Actually, we're going to have a water break. Please hydrate, guys. Okay, so to start, we're going to clarify the Eight of Swords. I think I'm going to sneeze. Oh, no, not what I want. Okay, I think I'm okay. Okay, so for the Eight of Swords, our hidden energy is the Ten of Cups. Yes, that is the Ten of Cups. So ultimately, we want stability. We want peace. We want happiness. We want hope. Our goal is to create this for ourselves, and we're putting in the effort. We're doing the work, but we're nervous. You know, we're absolutely, you know, we're nervous. We might be, well, not to make this crass here, but we might be shitting bricks about the situation because we don't know what's coming. You know, if you're anything like me, you might have a problem of overthinking and ruminating on thoughts that aren't helpful, right? And that's, you know, it's okay. Let's acknowledge that energy, but we also have to realize that doing that, trapping yourself in your own thoughts, isn't going to make this goal come any faster, okay? If we want that stability, if we want that light, if we want that love to come in, we have to acknowledge that there's some things holding us back. And when we identify those things, you know, we can move past them and we can find love, we can find happiness, we can find the peace and the creativity that we really want to embody. Excuse me. So yeah, there's the Ten of Cups. All right, that's our hidden energy. So our clarifying energy, it's going to be the card for death. This is a change in energy, so we have to make a change, and that's why we're nervous. That's why we're scared about doing this work. But ultimately, that change is going to help us move away from what's holding us back. Okay, and I feel like there's going to be someone out there thinking this is a dark card to get after the Ten of Cups. I would agree. I do agree. However, going off the idea of the energy of change, you know, that has to be what starts happening. That's why you're nervous. That's probably if you're identifying with the Eight of Swords card. Sorry about that. Of course, change is uncomfortable. Change is nerve-wracking. But what are you? You know, we're always doing it. Some of these changes are more monumental than others, and that's probably why. That's probably why you're feeling trapped and unable to make forward progress. Okay. So there is the Death card. Okay. To clarify our King of Cups, we have, okay, the Six of Cups. Yes, I believe this is the Six of Cups. So we have, I'm going to say we have a sense of reconnection, maybe a sense of nostalgia for maybe when times were a lot easier for us. But we also need to realize that, you know, there's some generosity, some openness that we're allowing ourselves to finally feel. But we are, we're coming home. We're coming back to ourselves. You know, we felt a lot of feelings with this King of Cups, but we also understand what these emotions are driving us to think, to do, to want, to where we want to be. Okay, let's go with that. And again, we're getting cups. So there is a lot of emotion. There is a lot of, there is a lot of emotion attached with this time in our space right now. So there is the Six of Cups. I think that it's VI. So if I've misinterpreted this card, let me know somewhere. So yeah, Six of Cups is our hidden energy. Clarifying energy. We have the Devil. There's been some temptations. There's been some things that have held us back. Again, we're going back to feeling bound in. Feeling bound in, feeling anxious, feeling like we can't move forward. But okay. So why? What's the deal? Yes, I'm asking that question like that. Okay. Why are we feeling held in? We have so much opportunities to reconnect and to understand our emotions. What are we missing here? Why are we still feeling this this energy? Of course, you know, one possible answer could mean that things are changing and we're not okay with it just yet. Interesting. Let's move on, because we also have the Two of Swords to clarify. Let's see if we can make this a little bit easier to understand. So there's a card for the Devil. Okay. Like I said, we're going to get into the hidden and clarifying energy for the Two of Wands. Let me hold that so you can see it. Two of Wands. Okay. So we have, as our hidden energy, we have the King of Swords. So, okay, King of Swords. We've worked hard to master our thoughts. We've worked hard to master our ability to make forward progress. Ability to master our forward progress. And we are genuinely trying to, there's a sense of mastery here, whether that's taking action, whether that's moving ourselves forward. I'm having trouble with this card in reference to everything else, because I'm getting stuck on the fact that this is an air card, or because swords, like I said, are associated with air. The king cards, to me, they're authoritative. They're very knowledgeable in their respective areas. And I think what this is saying to me is that, yes, you're going through a lot. Yes, you have a lot of choices and a lot of things on your plate right now that are causing you to think and overthink and not feel safe in your own brain, perhaps. In which case, I feel for you. I've been there before. Please hold on, okay? And if you feel that you can't, please reach out. But yes, you have a lot of choices. You have a lot of things going on up here. However, you have authority over your thoughts. Maybe you have more authority over them than you think you do, okay? Okay, let's leave that there. You have the ability to open your wings and fly, okay? And yes, maybe things feel a little bit subdued and a little bit dark, but you have more agency over your thoughts than you think, okay? The choice is whether you take that agency or not, okay? There's the Two of Wands. The hidden energy for that is the King of Swords. Okay, we also have the Six of Swords. Again, we have the sense of transition and movement forward. And I feel like saying once you get a hold of your thoughts here, once you understand and take authority for your thoughts, this transitional period will start for you. And that's, you know what's interesting? If I were to take a picture of the spread, of the first spread, this two of Wands energy was smack in the middle. Okay? I did mention that once we take authority of our thoughts, this transitional energy is going to move us forward, move us away from the prison of our own thoughts, okay? Yeah, this is a transitional energy here. We're moving on. We're finally getting into the nitty-gritty of our journey. And yes, this might still be scary because it's presenting us with a lot of things. But the energy is finally getting moving. Okay, so there's the Six of Swords. Okay. So we're going to clarify our Seven of Cups. Remember, I just said we have a lot of things at our disposal, okay? So there's the Seven of Cups. Again, let's see. Let me shuffle this again. Okay. Our hidden energy, we have the Four of Wands. So, yeah, we have some things to do. We have some decisions to make. But I think if we're careful and we really weigh the pros and cons, please don't overthink these, but, you know, do some discerning of your situation. Once we weigh the pros and cons of what we have at our disposal, there's going to be a foundation and a reason to be able to lay back and relax and say, you know what, we did the work. We can have a good time now because we have a firm foundation to stand on to do this, okay? Bonus points for this, we haven't done it by ourselves either, and that is a constant message. Constant message that I probably be reinforcing on too, but if you find yourself resonating with that, you know, I'm glad to help you with that. So, foundational, yeah, we're strong in our foundations now that the energy has moved on. We also have the Empress, so we have hit our creative stride, and we have moved ourselves into a place where we're no longer afraid to make forward progress. We're no longer afraid to move our creative pursuits ahead. Remember I talked about Jackson Pollock being a prominent energy and a prominent name that I wanted to put forward in this. So we're finally we've finally gotten past that little niggling ew thought that held us back, and we're creating. We're making things happen. We're growing things, and it's looking good. It's looking very abundant. So there is the Empress, okay? There's the Empress. We also are going to finally clarify this Five of Wands energy. Excuse me. Okay. We're going to clarify this Five of Wands energy as our last card. Because again, remember, there's still a little bit of conflict. So what do we need to know? So there is the Five of Wands. Okay. So we have all right. Ten of Coins is our hidden energy, so perhaps there's still a little bit of the tricky bits of making, you know, especially if you want to make forward progress on our creative suits. What is it? Maybe there's a cost that might incur from pursuing this, or maybe more positively here, this creative pursuit is going to reap rewards, and I like that I'm getting this after the fact of the Empress, okay? But there's still some things to consider in that, because what this pursuit will cost us time, cost us energy, cost us maybe missing time with family. However, there are things that we stand to gain. You know, we already have so much at our disposal. We already have so many good and abundant things at our fingertips, that we will still be able to take care of what we have to take care of, and have more beside that to have fun with, if that makes sense. Now, be within your reason for it, but know that you are capable of taking care of what you need to take care of, and you'll have more beside to do with what you will. So that's I'll take that as clarification of this internal versus external conflict. Okay, hidden energy, Ten of Coins. Yeah, we also have the King of Coins, so we understand our abundances, we're in authority over that, but we also know our self-worth. We also know what we're about and what we have to offer in this situation. Okay, we're in authority over our spiritual and emotional abundances, and that's a good place to be. I feel like that's a really good place to be. So there is the King of Coins. Alrighty. So let's get into some possible outcomes for you. We are going to be using the Wandering Star Tarot. Yes, we're going to be using the Wandering Star Tarot to do this. This is by Kat Pierce. I did forget to mention at the beginning of this reading that I will have especially pictures for you on my Instagram, but I will also have a text breakdown of all the cards, as well as kind of a quick little link to the information I found about Jackson Pollock. So if you're interested in seeing any of that, everything is going to be in the description. So let's see some possible outcomes for this reading. I do want to say a big thank you to everybody that tuned in live on my Instagram, that's going to tune in for this video. I very much appreciate you doing this for me. Again, if you want to get in touch with me, go ahead and click the links in my socials. If you are viewing this, links in the description if you want to see more from me outside of YouTube, if you're viewing in on YouTube. But for those of you on my Instagram, if you guys want to check me out, there is a link in my bio to my website. So So yeah, that's where you can find me. Yeah. So outcomes. What do we need to see to close out this reading? Okay. So one outcome, we have Five of Wands. So if we might still be experiencing some conflicts, and that's okay. That will always happen. You know, there could be, again, external versus internal conflicts. It will happen. But I feel compelled to say that how you meet those conflicts will determine the outcome of them. If you're being childish about it, you know, if you're insulting and throwing all kinds of hate in whatever direction you're gonna do that in, it's probably not gonna end up as good as you believe it will. You know, if you acknowledge that conflicting energy and allow it to help you reflect and think about what you might be missing, what you might stand to gain if you go another direction, whatever that might look like for you. But conflict is a part of existence, and how you meet that conflict will say a lot about you, but also help you determine how this outcome is going to happen for you. Okay. Five of Wands. Okay. We also have the Moon. So we might end up in a place where there's still a lack of clarity, but at least in this situation we have a sense of our own authority. Remember, we got the King of Coins and the King of Swords, I believe. Go back and confirm that for me. But we have authority. We have the ability to take what we know about ourselves, what we know about our situation, and give ourselves the time to process, but we still can move forward. We have I feel a lot of positive energy to help us move forward too. So yeah, there's the Moon. The way might not be clear, but we're still gonna go forward anyway. We're still moving forward. So there's the Moon. Okay. We also have Eight of Wands. We had the Eight of Swords first card out. There will be new information coming in. It always happens. It always comes in. These things. New information coming in. We'll learn along the way. Okay, a lot of learning energy. Yeah, we'll learn along the way. Okay. So there's the Eight of Wands. All right. Let me shuffle. Ooh. Okay. So I just had several cards pop off the top. There are in fact too many cards to get. Give me a second here. Okay. So I had two cards come upright. Pardon me for disappearing there. I had two cards come upright from the ones that fell out, so I'm going to treat those as the hidden and clarifying energy. The hidden energy here for us is going to be the Tower. So yeah, things, going back to that energy of change, it always does. We're not exempt from it. We're not static, and we are not, we're not monoliths. There it is. There's the thought I wanted. We're not monolithic. We change, we move forward, even if we don't want to have to make that change. Okay? However, we gain clarity. Even as all of this falls apart, we still gain clarity. And, there's still valuable lessons to be learned from catastrophe, from disaster. Now, I'm going to put a caveat on that because there are certain world events going on right now that seem so unbelievably senseless. Okay, and I acknowledge that. I don't have answers to why those things are going on. Okay, you know, I don't even want to finish that thought. But at least if we're experiencing our own personal tower moment, there's some clarity, and our eyes will open up to what we need to see when it does, when that clarity does come. Okay, there's the tower. That's our hidden energy. Final energy, final clarifying energy. For that, we have judgment. So we are also, we're coming home. We're being called out of darkness. We're being called out of our own misery. Maybe if you've been feeling something very kind of weighty and putting on your shoulders, maybe, there's a lot on your shoulders, and it's finally just being like, it's lifted off. It's going away. Maybe not completely, but you're finally able to heed that call and move yourself forward. Again, moving forward. Okay. So yeah, there is the card for judgment. Right? So that is about it for this reading. Thank you for being here. I hope this resonates and I hope this helps you. If you guys want to see more, you already know where to look. You already know which buttons to push. Let's try that again. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, everybody.